Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to tell you about our great friends over at Streetside Brewery, the best daggone brewery you're going to find in Cincinnati. Absolutely love these guys. Look, it's been too long since I've been able to get out there, and I was out there just 2 weeks ago, okay? And that's too long for me. It is over in the Columbia-Tusculum-ish area on Eastern Avenue. It is a lovely little spot and a lovely little neighborhood, I might add. Great things going on over there. And gosh, at Streetside, you're always going to find live music. You're going to find trivia nights, all sorts of cool events. Go check them out. The link is in the description of the episode. Go support them because they support us, okay? If for nothing else, do it for that. But it's a great place to watch a game. You can do, take in a sports game there. You could just enjoy the nice patio, especially as the weather turns a little brighter, a little nicer. I can think of nothing better to do. So huge thank you to Streetside for sponsoring this episode. Thank you, dear listener, for checking them out. And on today's episode, well, it's the last game for a long while for the old FC. So we talk about it later on in the episode, okay? Use the timestamps. If people don't know this, the timestamps in the description are going to help you out because there's a lot of rambling in this one, okay? I'm not going to lie. Now, we do talk about, yes, there's tons of World Cup talk, and we talk about an FC Cincinnati event that happened this week. So you get my little review of that. Some great stuff, interacting with some of the players there. Very fun. And then eventually we do talk about soccer. So if you want to just skip the nonsense, you can just jump right in. It's a little later on in the episode. Or, hey, kick back, relax, enjoy a very laid-back episode of the Cincy Postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by two gentlemen who are sort of sad to see the season go after this weekend. Joined by the Chief, joined by Grayson. Chief, how does it feel to know that the season is over after this weekend?
We bid adieu to this version of FC Cincinnati, hopefully. I think that's what's kind of weird about this is that we're going on hiatus after this weekend for so long that by the time FC Cincinnati plays its next game after this, the summer transfer window will be open.
Yeah.
Meaning that fully there could be new players already here, training, ready to go. There could be players that are playing in the World Cup that just stay and join FC Cincinnati. There could be players that you see on Saturday that won't be on this team come the next time they show up. That's wacky to me that we're in May and we're talking about that the next time we watch this team play, there will have been a full ass transfer window that will have opened up.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting test of the new split season schedule thing.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, Grayson, has it set into you? Like, when will it feel real that we're about to have like an 8-week break in the MLS season?
I don't know. Maybe after, we've done our 4th episode recapping old episodes of Ted Lasso.
Possible.
I don't know. Are we going to forget about the team? Are we going to forget they're here? Or are we going to, whatever?
That's interesting. This will be the longest, I believe, we have gone without FC Cincinnati matches in a summer since before FC Cincinnati existed.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Like there has never been a June without FC Cincinnati since what, 2016? That's wild.
2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm thinking too, it's only like 4 weeks shorter than our last couple of like off-season breaks.
Yeah. Like what do they expect us to do? Be Reds fans? That seems lame.
I think we're supposed to watch the World Cup, but
I don't give a shit. Like, that's the other thing that, like, I know that makes me a bad soccer fan. I don't care. Like, I'm trying to make myself get fired up about the World Cup. I don't care. It feels still like something that's way too expensive for me to do, and something for the team that I care about is going to suck at. And I don't know. That just kind of makes it feel like golf. Like, I'm not going to go to the Masters either, and I suck at the sport too. So,
yeah, I still think that more likely than not, I get really into the World Cup once games start rolling.
Yeah,
but this is the least I've thought about the World Cup heading into the World Cup probably my entire life.
Yeah, that feels right.
Like, when I was a kid, the World Cup was like an exciting thing. And yeah, like, you're not working, you're not in school, you can walk in the 94 World Cup, which is the first one I really remember, was in the US. So the games were at very watchable times, just like this one is going to be. So maybe there are going to be some bunch of kids who this is like their first chance to like really watch a World Cup, and they're going to really get into it. And I hope that happens. But with everything else going on, and with it being like really expanded, and with all the FIFA crap going on, and with, there was a story, last week. I forget what, I think it may have been I may have seen it in the New York Times.
Not Broadway World.
Not Broadway World.
Okay,
well, at least I didn't see it in Broadway World.
Okay.
Where they talked about the head of CONMEBOL getting investigated for diverting funds that were received by CONMEBOL as part of the settlement of the federal FIFA investigation back in like 2016.
Yeah.
And if people remember when we covered the FIFA documentary on this show or the World's Gam, probably this show. And one of the things that happened was, we basically extorted ourselves the 26 World Cup by arresting a bunch of people, and then
including Sepp Blatter.
And then reached the settlement with with FIFA and the federation and the confederations, which were up to their knees in the conduct up to their necks, really, in the conduct that was investigated and charged, and labeled them as victims, which technically I guess the organizations were. But what that puts us in the funny situation of is creating a fund of the money that was recovered that then goes back to the organizations that embezzled it and stole it in the first place, right? So it's like these former executives had taken the money and lined their own pockets with it, and it seems that the current executives, at least in the case of CONMEBOL, maybe elsewhere, maybe not, I don't know, have kind of taken their own chances.
Yeah. Incidentally, CONMEBOL is what they call when two California schools play one another in a college football postseason game, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah. And, I think this might be an unprecedented, this whole FIFA settlement might be an unprecedented situation where, as the result, it's never happened before, never happened again, where a settlement fund was set up for kind kind of insiders just to dip their hands into.
That sounds totally unheard of. I certainly can find no parallels.
I'm curious if any of the heads of federations called J.G. Wentworth that there was a settlement and they needed cash now.
Yeah.
I've heard that's not a great deal.
No.
Do we know if Iran gets to play in this thing yet?
Last I heard, yes, they're invited.
That was an absurdity. It does feel like a trap. If it's
it's like this time we're taking the hostages, baby.
It does feel like an absurdity that they would get kicked out of the World Cup for being invaded. And I'm not trying to take a broader position on world politics, although I don't know how else you can look at this.
Yeah, I don't know if there's really a other side to this debate. This feels like not an 80-20. This feels like a 99-1.
Nobody involved in world conflicts of aggression can take part in the World Cup.
You're right. What a clever way to just could you just declare war on all the tournament favorites? Try to clear the field.
Don't we have to let Russia play in this thing? Here's the deal. Here's what I propose. I assume Russia's still barred from this stuff because they've been barred from this stuff for a while.
I think just the Olympics, right? I think the Russian soccer team can still play.
Are they in the World Cup?
They're not in the World Cup.
Everybody's in the World Cup this go around. There's 75 teams in.
Yeah.
Somehow them and Italy both missed.
Here's my proposal.
Okay.
If we kick Iran out, we have to let Russia in.
Russia would deny it because they don't want to be considered an Asian country.
Because Ukraine's out. Ukraine's not in, right?
Ukraine is not in.
Yeah. So the only consistency is you either got to go both Iran and Ukraine in, or both U.S. and Russia in.
What about Russia? What about Russia just shows up for them and Ukraine?
Yeah, you can have a unified team.
Yeah, that used to do that. Well. Yeah,
they used to be part of the same team.
Yeah.
Before
they were very much not,
right?
and now they kind of are. It's very messy.
One is trying to make them part of the same team.
All events everywhere are conspiring to make me not very excited about the upcoming World Cup, and we haven't even gotten into ticket prices and all that other crap.
Yeah,
it feels like everything these days. And I know this will be fun when I get my season ticket renewal information from FC Cincinnati to see how much they're jacking it up by. But it's I don't know, man. Not to be the old guy on the show.
FC Cincy Jacks.
Clearly, somebody that hasn't raised their price yet.
I assume.
Yeah, no. That's what I wouldn't even. I would have no frame of reference for that. I do get more of it feels like I'm getting more of a sticker shock these days. Every time I'm that seems like fun to go to. And this isn't even just the World Cup. This is that they're touring. How much tickets for that? $190 for regular seats? You can fuck off.
Yeah.
The World Cup, $500 for upper deck seats. Yeah. 2 of these right here, buddy. Stone cold salute. At some point, it's why is there no enthusiasm for a lot of this stuff? It's I don't know, man. I got bills. I got shit going on.
You hear about a new industry dying every other day. It's because, yeah, man, we all want to do that. This idea that nobody's going to concerts. It's no, I think everybody wants to go to the concert. It's very expensive.
I think people are going to concerts. People are. They're just paying for it.
It's just not you. Not enough people are going to concerts. I have an idea. Tell me what you think about this. Is that I would like to go to more World Cup games this summer, but I think I need to figure out a grift to do it. So I'm thinking that as a postcast, here's what we do. Okay. We buy the highest level subscription to whatever AI we want.
Okay.
And we use that to vibe code an app. And we say that what the app does is that the app allows you to utilize the blockchain to follow your favorite teams during the World Cup and then purchase specifically minted tokens that the app makes that will help you show your support for your national team. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds like it would make us a lot of money and that people would willingly pay us for that. Twice. The first thing we do is we start a round of venture capital for people to invest in this brand new startup, leveraging AI tools to help fans utilize the blockchain and token economies to display their passions for international football.
Are you just reading off the website of a real company?
No, I'm not. This is all off the dome. I'm just going with every. I'm trying to insert as many buzzwords as possible.
Did you run this into Claude or something?
No. This is. I have an X.com account, X the Everything app. It's all happening on X, and my timeline is full of people that are telling me the reason why I'm poor is that I'm not on AI, bro. And so I think as a postcast, we should do this, and then we should go to World Cup games utilizing other people's money that are dumb and want to invest in things like this.
This does remind me of the official FIFA betting partner for the World Cup does not have a functioning website because they were founded 2 days before the announcement of them being the FIFA official betting partner for the World Cup. It's a great spot. It was just sort of created out of thin air by like Abu Dhabi, and there we go. What
do you think would happen if we just announced that the World's Game is the official FIFA podcast of the World Cup and just force them to send us a cease and desist letter?
I think we're doing it tomorrow.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think it would be really fun to hear from FIFA's lawyers.
Well, they demand that we cease and desist, and we counter demand that in exchange for our ceasing and desist, we demand free tickets to every one of these matches.
Yeah. It's like counterpoint. Maybe we are.
Yeah. Art of the deal. You know?
Yeah.
Like
you could just make us that.
Right. They're claiming we cease and desist, and we're going to say, no, you should cease and desist from telling us to cease and desist. And we will drop our request to make you cease and desist in exchange for these terms.
Yeah,
and also,
buddy.
Also a $2 million first seed round for our app. NFT, the football NFT BitChain blockcoin.ai.
Can we bait them into a lawsuit and then we settle and somehow we get money out of it?
Maybe a structured settlement.
There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. We get one World Cup ticket, a World Cup for the rest of our lives. So
this sucks for FC Cincinnati though, because it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's good because the team is kind of not in a great spot, but out of sight, out of mind, always sucks. Like you don't want to be ceding your market share and your mind share.
Yeah, but think about it this way. Okay. In a recent Broadway revival of Funny Girl, they cast Beanie Feldstein and Jane Lynch, which was wildly unsuccessful. Okay. So it was some poor personnel decisions.
Which one was the DP? Jane Lynch, probably.
Yeah, probably Jane Lynch. Certainly they're both TAM. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
But then, you know, they took the opportunity. They made the changes when they saw they're necessary. They brought in Leah Michelle and Tova Feldsche, and that change was so successful that they ended up using the replacements to record the original cast recording, which basically never happens. So, you know, you can, you know, with the right personnel moves, you know, salvage a franchise that's off to a poor start.
Similarly, there's a version of this where like the official team photo is like 30% different than the team that's going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, we're really it's kind of like a Back to the Future situation where they filmed like 30 minutes of the movie with Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly before realizing, this isn't working. Let's get Michael J. Fox to do this. Where FC Cincinnati comes back from break, and you're like, hey, what happened to those guys? Like, don't worry about it. They got recast.
They gone.
Claude has a. So I asked Claude. I said, I run a soccer podcast. Develop a business plan for me to make a lot of money and be invited to get a lot of free tickets to this summer's World Cup.
Great.
Good love this.
The problem is, according to Claude, the accreditation deadline has passed. It was February 28th.
I don't want credits. I don't want credentials.
They say plan for 2027.
There is
It's the Women's World Cup.
The Women's World Cup. Yeah.
The year one revenue target is $80,000, which I think are shy of that pace.
Yeah, significantly.
Just a hair under.
Yeah.
It does say it's realistic with 5,000 listeners. So get the word out, folks.
4,980,
They want us to get 30 to 40,000 from sponsorships, 12 to 20,000 from listener memberships. Folks, we care about you too much to expect that much money from you.
Right.
$8,000 to $15,000 from World Cup live shows. We've never made a single dime from a live show.
It's cost us money. We've had to buy equipment.
We had to buy beer.
True. Yeah.
Brand partnerships, $5,000 to $10,000, and affiliate/merch $3,000 to $6,000. Folks, the shirts are up there. You can you can help us there.
Yeah.
Get the Noonan In Out hats.
They're a hot ticket these days.
They want our minimum Patreon tier to be $5 a month, folks. We are much more generous.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
This is AI trying to scam you is what this is. We're fighting back against the machines.
I'm learning why everything's more expensive these days.
Well, so here's the thing, right? They want us to host live podcast tapings in World Cup host cities. Claude, you are not accounting for the costs of
just the travel and lodging.
So here's some good news. If you sell tickets at $20 to $40 a person, who
could turn that down?
A 150 person show at $30 average is $4,500 per event. That's not getting us to Miami to rent a venue.
We gotta get at least two, ideally 3 hotel rooms, a couple of plane tickets there and back.
As Claude knows Spirit Airlines is shut down, because that's going to increase costs exponentially too.
Partner with bars, fan zones, or soccer clubs as venues. They pay you or share door revenue. Well, one or the other. It has to happen.
For sharing revenue, we're down to like $2,000 for this show. That it's way too expensive.
That's a great. Hold on. This is a great. This is a great idea for how we can spend the time until FC Cincinnati comes back in July. We tell Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT or whichever one you're using that we have until July 22nd to make this podcast sustainable for all of us to quit our jobs. And if we don't do that, then we are all murdered. Like, give it like some real stakes here, that like the fate of the free world hangs on this happening. And then we will commit to doing everything that it says, no matter how unethical.
So it says, this is actually something we probably should have already been doing for away days. Approach tourism boards for host cities. They'll pay for sponsored episodes about the city's World Cup experience. They might not.
Probably not. Well, I mean, have you seen the hotel room reservations?
But we have bled money on away days.
A tourism board, reaching out to a tourism board is really good. I like that idea a lot.
They do say that even if the main window is closed, FIFA sometimes processes late applications.
What are we applying for? I'm just asking for free tickets. I don't want credentials.
FIFA Media Hub we can partner with an accredited outlet, the Athletic,
Sports Illustrated. They're definitely real.
Yeah.
Sponsor or partner with teams' national FAs. There's got to be we should find an FA to.
I mean,
what about like Qatar or Saudi? What about Qatar or Saudi Arabia or something like that?
What about Curacao? Jurgen Lakadia plays for them.
He has wonderful memories of Cincinnati.
We could be the official podcast of the Curacao men's national team at the 2026 World Cup.
That'd be a blast. But guys, the obvious in is the Czech Republic. Come on. We got
Pavel?
to tie in. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm in. I will commit to becoming the official United States podcast of the Czech Republic World Cup team, provided that they pay for us to come down, interview players, come to training, and go to the game.
Yeah.
Actually, you know
Done.
what? I would like to do that for Pavel, but I'm open to the highest bidder. If another federation wants to make a better deal. Look, there is no country. I don't care about your human rights track record. I don't care about, your country's geopolitical situation. I don't care who you've invaded. I don't care about how many WMDs you have. I don't care if we've invaded you. Odds are one of those things has happened in every country's past that we're talking about here. I'm open to whatever. I am willing to sell out to any national team or football federation that will pay for me to travel to a World Cup game and give us free content.
So this
Kevin, will you commit as well?
Yes, this seems suboptimal for the Czech Republic because while one of their games, June 18th, is in Atlanta against your South African team, which I assume has a couple of Mamelodi Sundowns players on it.
We're well represented on the South African team, actually.
Yes. Their other two games are in Mexico.
I've got a passport.
I'm not saying I'm against traveling to Mexico, to be clear. I just think it may be more expensive for our host nation that we
also,
are forcing.
Shout out to the Sundowns. Big winners, 1-0 in the first leg of the African Champions League. So
nice.
Feeling good about that.
Congrats.
I'll sell out to any football federation. I will sell out to any nation. I'll sell out to any sponsor. Like, I'll shill for any product imaginable. Like, you want all those people that were sponsoring Alex Jones with like those MREs and gold bars and, bug out bags. I'm into that too. Let's do it.
We should be selling those for sure. My God.
Has this become a World Scam segment suddenly?
A little bit. Just got it applied to the other show.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
No.
It's all one
song.
Yeah. I will say though, tonight I did get to experience quite a bit of FC Cincinnati fandom as there was the FCC Youth Club, Kids Club event this evening where got to meet a couple of the players, little autograph signing sesh in the First Financial Club.
Nice.
And it was a good time. It was nice.
Whomst was present for the autograph set signings.
Okay. So they did this in 2 chunks. So they give you a couple of players and then a little bit later, a couple more players showed up. So the first batch, the first team was podcast alum Evan Lauro. We also got I don't care anymore. I was trying so hard to go past it that I overthought it and I just paused and we let it happen.
He's not coming back anyway.
No. Obina Wobodo was sitting next to him. And then at the end of the table was Tom Barlow, fresh off of his 2-goal performance.
The legend.
Yes. And then the second group was all of the offensive talent on the team. It was Kenji Momadem, Ayub Jabari, and Dado Valenzuela. And let me tell you, first pass through, I'm trying to be cool. I didn't really say anything to Evan. Just I'm there with my little guy. He's nervous as can be. He did not want any photos with any of the players. It was everything he could do to just like hand the ball. We bought a little soccer ball for them to sign. It was everything he could do to do that. Okay. So we go after the first round of signatures or whatever. We go back. They've got like games set up for kids. We grabbed a snack and then we lined up for the next row. We go down there and there's Dado right at the end. And the way this is set up is that the second group of players table is actually like closer to the line than the first table. It was an odd setup, but basically what it meant was that like Dado and Evan were very close to each other in the arrangement. And so I'm going through, we're getting everything signed when we get to Dado. Evan yells out, Dado, that's a Stan right there. That's a Stan. That's the guy who's responsible for you getting playing time. I was dying because when I first went through, I wasn't 100% sure if Evan recognized me. Because, like, you know, we do this over virtual thing. I don't know if he like recognizes my voice. I had a really long beard last time we talked. I don't know. I don't expect him to remember me. And then that was clearly like, shit. Okay. So he's got me. And that was hilarious. I was very embarrassed, and then got to talk to Evan, and he was very nice, very fun. And even said that multiple people that evening told him that they loved him on the postcast, which was very sweet and nice. And he told them, look out, one of the hosts is roaming around here. So, but nobody approached me. So the only person who recognized me, which was my dream, was Evan. So that was great.
Kevin, on a scale of 1 to 100, where were you on the fact that nobody that has been heavily criticized on this show over the last couple of weeks was appearing for autograph signings?
I'll be honest with you. I was terrified that like Matt Miazga was going to be one of the guys.
He doesn't know.
He has no clue.
I'm assuming he doesn't know, but I would just hate to even just have that little moment there.
To add Evan point, hey, this is the guy that's lighting you up online.
Hey, Kevin, what'd you say about him last time? He should not be on the team anymore? Is that what you said?
Did Dado thank you for getting him playing time?
Honestly,
that was the real question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
He did not.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Dado, Gerardo.
I will say it would absolutely be fair for a player to for Evan to be like, that guy was talking crap about you for like
100%.
I also think Evan would do it too.
And that would be funny.
You would have to, you or me or Chief or whoever would have to just stand there and take it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because it's,
I feel bad
whatever,
for the two. I feel bad for the two of you, because if that happened to me, I have the easiest response of all, and that's, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know anything about what I'm talking about here, man.
Same.
No, I would just calmly and politely explain, give them 3-4 reasons why they're terrible. I think that would be really good to do.
I would say I'm a toddler, and sometimes I experience feelings.
Yeah.
And just because it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't mean the feeling's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing you can always default to too, and I can do this as well, is like, look, I suck at my job too. I've been fired.
Look, feelings don't care about your facts.
Yeah. This is a feelings podcast. Okay. We might talk about facts.
You want to defend yourself? Come on the show. How about that? Huh?
Ooh, that's a good response.
There you go.
Yeah, you won't do it on my show.
You're going to have 30 minutes in the Thunderdome filled with the biggest softball questions you can possibly imagine.
I bet there's the most polite.
I bet there's no way that you ever agree to have one of the most awkward interviews you'll ever experience, sitting in your car for 25 minutes. Kendrick or Drake?
Yeah, with the AC off so that it doesn't create too much background noise. Thanks.
So, Kevin, did the real question we've got to ask is, did you book any of these people for the show?
So,
no. God, what are we doing?
Hang on. The answer is not no. The answer is not no. Okay. I talked to Barlow and I said, Barlow, we'd love to have you on the podcast. I said, Evan can vouch for how terrible we are. And Evan said, that's true, actually. And Tom said, I don't know, what is this? I said, we do a stupid podcast.
That's the right answer.
Now, this is great. This is great. And then he looks over to Evan and goes, wait, is this that thing you did in the preseason? And Evan goes, oh, yeah. So known thing, known entity, whatever Evan was confessing to in the preseason made its way around the team.
Is that the thing where you admitted that you were starting the Scientology speedrunning trend?
It might have been the one where they outed, I'm not going to say who, wrecked the van.
That's true. You have to go back and listen to that episode to figure out who they. And
we did screw up too. That we forgot to continue on with Evander as the sneaky visitor nickname.
I made a T-shirt and then I felt bad actually releasing it.
The sneaky visitor is an incredible nickname. I don't understand how anyone could be opposed to that.
I need him to get one of those, pops up in the middle of the box, dare I say, Messi-esque goals, and then we can bust it out.
No, like that pass that he had to KMD, like that was a sneaky pass right there. That one snuck right through the back line. The sneaky visitor delivers again. You always got to be watching when the sneaky visitor is around.
So true. Gary was also there, by the way, signing autographs. Now, Gary does an autograph that I can only describe as very elaborate. And in fact, too elaborate. Gary's signature takes at least like 10 minutes for you to sit there and have him sketch out. He draws a self-portrait and everything. It was a whole big to-do. And my only feedback to FCC is maybe speed that one up a little bit. Gary does not need to be a character artist.
Why don't we get Gary a stamp?
Yeah.
Gary does seem like a stamp guy. Like a seal, like the official seal of Gary.
Yeah. He could melt a candle.
Melt some wax. Have a brass stamp. We're
gonna make it worse.
Yeah, actually, it smells bad. There's fire involved. It's great.
It's like he uses one of those pens that has 5 different colors, and he's constantly changing it in the middle of it.
So that was fun. It was a nice little event. I appreciate them putting that on. Because the kids club is a little harder to pull off, I think, than with baseball. Because let me tell you, the Reds kids club is the greatest thing ever. If you got to protest the Reds or whatever, go for it. But if you're looking for a cheap way to do this, it's like $35. Your kids get a jersey, a backpack, a whole fistful of like coupons that are like legit good coupons, like free hothead burrito, free graders. And then they get you 2 or 4 free tickets to a Reds game. Like you can redeem it at a future game. And it's like $35. It's the best deal ever. So FCC's does not come with a whole bunch of free tickets, does not come with a free jersey, but I appreciated this autograph event, and I assume there will be others. So that was nice.
Cool.
So way to go, FCC. Yeah, that was nice.
Glad we're keeping it topical with FCC content right here. Kevin, how does it feel to be now publicly recognized as Dado's #1 stan?
Good. I wish he was older.
Careful there, Jeff.
Yeah. Otherwise, that was great. It was nice. It was really good to be called out. And look, if our public pressure campaign got him playing time, I would just say you're welcome to everybody. In a lot of ways, I think I've made the team better. I've saved Pat Noonan his job. And we have a lot more to look forward to the second half of the season because of that. So you're welcome.
You know how this ends, right? Is that we get Dado on the show and we have, and somehow he becomes the first player that says something on this show that gets him benched. Because like we ask him a stupid question and he gives a funny answer and Pat's like, none of that on my team. No.
It's the only time Pat has ever listened to the show is to double check Dado's work and decides it wasn't good enough and he needs to be benched.
It's like, yeah, Gaff, you wanted to see me? Yeah, have a seat. I heard your appearance on the Cincy Post, whatever. What's this about you not liking your position? I thought we told you you're an attacking mid. Now you're out here saying that you'll play any position to get more playing time. You trying to show me up, boy?
I like the idea that Tom Barlow has not only not ever heard of the show, he's not familiar with the concept of like a podcast.
Tom Barlow, like in my head.
What is this thing?
Yeah. Tom Barlow, he just listens to hard rock music. That's it. Like he doesn't use any other app on his phone other than he doesn't even use Spotify. It's all stuff that he has ripped from his CD collection back in the day. Or his older brother's CD collection that's just been handed down to him on a flash drive.
When he moved to town, they only had to show him one thing to get him acclimated, and that was the WEBN.
749 Rock, 749
How to get it on his radio.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
They get him in the car, and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to like it here. And they tune it to WEBN, and AC/DC starts playing, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kid Chris comes on. Oh, my people.
Right. Like he's in the weight room, just absolutely putting plates up, like angry that Pavel is still like stronger than him. But it's like he's got the aux cord. It's Metallica Monday when he's got the aux cord.
Yeah. He doesn't even show up when Nick Aglin is in charge of the music.
No, I'm not going to listen to yacht rock. He puts in the earbuds and it's absolutely nothing but thrash metal.
He takes off. He takes off Chris Cornell Memorial Day every year.
Yeah.
Official holiday in the Barlow household. Day of mourning. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm just like Tom Barlow is a legend. He's already an FC legend, even this early on in the process. And I'm happy that you got that interaction moment with him, Kevin. And I'm happy that there is now a like 0.1% chance we can have him on the show and he can be like, no, actually, I listen to a lot of classical music.
He's just like the most chill, calm Zen dude.
It's like
he only listens to like obscure classical music. Like he's the guy who listens to Salieri.
Where he says, no, guys, actually, it's really weird. I listen to a lot of Broadway soundtracks.
Oh my God.
Boy, do we have a podcast for you there, Tommy.
Well, you know, I'm from New York and
grew up going to the theater.
And find out like he's got a sister who's like a leading lady on Broadway or something. Oh man. Are we ready to dive into this Orlando game? Because there's a lot to talk about, I think.
I'm past ready.
Let's do this. Let's head on over to part 2. Let's talk about Orlando, and we'll get folks out of here.
Today's episode of the Cincy Postcast is also brought to you by E&L Roofing. Look, I get it. Hearing the words new roof can cause your stress levels to elevate. But when you need a new roof, the folks at E&L Roofing can help make that process easier. Since 2009, they've been serving the greater Cincinnati area and helping to keep everyone safe, dry, and covered, no matter what life brings you. It's springtime storm season, and it's a great time to get your roof checked out. Me, I had the folks from E&L out at my place recently for some work. Honestly, could not have been happier with the result. Even caused my mother-in-law to say, picked out a nice color on that. And you know what? It's a win in my book. Plus, if you need siding and gutter work done, they've got you covered there too. And as a special value for our listeners, mention the Cincy Postcast when scheduling your inspection for up to 20% off a replacement roof, replacement siding, or replacement gutters. You can find them on the web and schedule your free inspection at elroofing.com or L Roofing if you're listening to this on Cinco de Mayo, elroofing.com. E&L Roofing, keeping you covered, even if the back three for FC Cincinnati doesn't always.
All right, we are back, and God,
I have to issue a correction from the previous segment.
Tom
Barlow is actually from St. Louis. He's not from New York.
He played for Red Bulls, right?
He did play for Red Bulls, yeah, but he's
for a long time too. So I think it's fair to think he came up with their academy
for much longer than it takes most people to say they're from New York.
For sure.
Well,
I would say he was young enough to do it too. Yeah. Oh, damn. St. Louis. Oh, no wonder Pat Noonan signed him.
Right. The St. Louis Mafia. It's sad. That also probably means he's an Albert Pujols fan, which I don't know how to feel about.
Oh, no. Maybe we don't have him on.
It's like, who are your favorite?
I don't want to see him ever again at this point.
Yeah. It's like, who would you consider to be your biggest athletic inspiration? Well, I was a huge Yadier Molina fan as a kid.
I was going to say his goal celebration is going to be taking off his shirt and it's a Yadier Molina jersey underneath.
Right. He gets re-signed after scoring 20 goals for the FC, and the first thing he invests in are neck tattoos.
No.
You ever see that? You ever see that video, that little clip from like, I think it's like from like Below Decks or something, where a woman is like dancing and she's
call
like,
that the boat show in my household, but continue.
She's like, I love dancing. I'm Latina. And they're like, oh, you're Latina. And she says, no, in my heart, I've always felt Latina. In real life, I am Polish.
So close.
That's like Tom Barlow's relationship with Yadier.
In my heart, I've always been a 5'10" catcher.
Right. He's a St. Louis Riqueño. St. Louis Rican.
Tom, welcome to the postcast. Fuck, marry, kill. Jim Edmonds, Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina.
And there is a correct answer.
No, sorry. Yadier Molina, Nelly.
Tom Barlow, welcome to the show. Jennifer Lopez, fake Puerto Rican, right?
Oh man,
he's definitely coming on now. This is gonna be a great interview.
Yeah. Just scare them all off. Oh god, FC Cincinnati is hosting Orlando City. They are fresh off of a 4-1 drubbing of Atlanta United in the Open Cup last night, as of time of recording here. Folks, if there was ever a game to bet the over, they are a team that have the only defensive record that is worse than FC Cincinnati in the league. They are capable of scoring goals. Like, they've outscored a couple of teams in playoff position in both conferences and have let in 38 goals, good for a negative 17 goal differential, and yet sit 3 points behind us on the Eastern Conference standings, one position out of the play-in game. Man, a weird game going into this one. I think this is a weird game in particular because last week, no wins for FC Cincinnati, 3 matches in 1 week, 2 draws, 2 road draws, which I think in the abstract is good. How they came about, losing leads in both of them, not good. And then sandwiched in between there is the 5-3 loss to Miami, which again, they led kind of late in that one. But I don't know. We've seen some weird changes with the lineup from what was working previously. So it's not clear exactly how much of that is rotation, how much of that is travel fatigue or fatigue generally through these weeks. So I guess what are you expecting, Chief, from this game? Are we going to see, I guess, let me ask this. Are we going to see the first choice, best possible lineup for FC Cincinnati as possible on Saturday, given that the season disappears immediately afterwards?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, this is the last ride probably for this version of FC Cincinnati, or it's going to be close to, because look, we'll have an inordinate amount of time to discuss this, that if this team comes back on July 22nd and there have been no roster moves, that they haven't gotten help in the door using this time off to work deals and get stuff done, when every club is on hiatus, every league is on pause, there should be, like, Albright should be doing nothing between these dates other than getting ready and getting set to hit the ground running with players in the building, in the facility on July 22nd when the season resumes. So from that standpoint, yeah, run out the thing that's been working. Run out the run out Pavel on the wing, Dado in that pivot position on the 6, Kenji at one striker, Denke at the other striker position, Ramirez on the other wing, Evander attacking mid. And I would go back to Guidi as a center back. I would go back to a center back pairing of Guidi. If Chirilla has cleared concussion protocol, Chirilla, and then I guess you have to include Miles Robinson in there because he's obviously not going anywhere. But yeah, why wouldn't you run this back out? It's the only thing that's worked. When they haven't done this and they haven't played this way, it's the worst this team has looked. The best this team has looked has been when that grouping of players is on the field. So why wouldn't you do that one more time if it's the best way you can deploy your talent?
Yeah. Grayson, is there anything to like one last look at teenage Flores and Miazga?
No.
Okay.
I think you have to go in. I think you have to go in looking for like you have to go in looking for a result.
Yeah.
And frankly, you have to go in looking for a win.
Yeah.
And so your decisions have to all be made based on what puts us in the best position to win the game. And I'm with Chief that, they've looked best with particular personnel. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say don't start Miles, right?
Yeah.
But Miles with Guidi and Chirilla, if he's available, that sounds something like you want to see, and it could work. And I also think that if they come out of this game and they lose and they're sitting out of a playoff spot,
doesn't matter
for the break. I don't know.
I
think there may be more than players changing.
I don't think so. I don't think that matters. I don't think there is nothing that can happen in this game that is going to fundamentally change what anyone should think about this FC Cincinnati team. If they go out and they lose 6-0 to Orlando, they have shown nothing in that game that we haven't already seen before. If they go out and they beat the brakes off Orlando, they will have shown nothing in that game that we haven't seen before. This team in this iteration is what it is. But it's like you say, is there any value in starting like Flores or teenage? There's nothing teenage or Flores can show in this one game that will change any opinion that you should already have of teenage Flores. The only thing that I would be curious about is if already that certain players aren't going to be back. Yeah, maybe there's one final 15-minute run for Matt Miazga. He can have a nice moment on the field so that his last game in FC Cincinnati isn't on the bench. Beyond that, the only thing that would be interesting to me is whether or not Tom Barlow gets rewarded for having a great game with a start, in which case Kenji can play out on the wing or Kenji can come off the bench. But this game doesn't matter. There is nothing legitimately, because if this team is going to go anywhere this year, there are going to have to be massive changes made during this World Cup break and during this summer window. We all know at this point, I think, that unless your head's in the sand, we all know this team is fundamentally flawed. And I think Albright has said as much without saying as much. He said as much as you're going to say publicly about a situation like this. We know it's going to change. We know this is probably the last iteration, the last time we're seeing this version of FC Cincinnati. So yeah, I agree with Grayson. The priority should be getting a result. Whatever happens in this game does not change what needs to happen going forward. So from that standpoint, it's kind of a weirdly house money game.
You don't think there's any chance that if they lose this game and they're sitting they would already be 10th by Orlando. Well, no, they wouldn't. Orlando wouldn't jump us. I'm sorry. Potentially Toronto could.
Orlando could jump us because the tiebreaker would be wins.
Oh, tiebreaker's wins. Yeah. So Orlando would jump us. Potentially Toronto could jump us. No, they wouldn't. Oh, they could. Yeah, because they'd have better, if Toronto won, they'd have better goal difference. Anyway, so you're saying that like if they lose this game and they come into the break sitting 10th or 11th in the East with a historic, record-setting pace of goals allowed, you don't think there's any chance? And I'm not saying I'm advocating for it. And I want to be clear, I'm not advocating for it. But you don't think there's any chance that Pat Noonan will lose his job?
Zero. Because if that's the case, if that is the case, truly, then he should be fired already. And he's dead man walking. Like there is nothing. Like if you have, like I said, if you have already come to the conclusion that it needs to change from a roster point of view, then you've already admitted that this version of the team is not, it's not what you're going to judge anyone on, but at least Noonan on.
But all the talk at the end of last season, in this off season, was about how they know they need to improve. They know what they need to do to improve. And the expectation is good that they're going to improve. They're going to benefit from having a full camp with all these players, everybody not being available in the past has hurt them, caused them to start slow, blah, blah, blah. And they, very decidedly, regardless of results, have not improved.
There's no doubt about that.
Right. And they've kind of done the opposite.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, depending on your point of view.
If I don't know what point of view says that they've
like the offense
improved.
The offense is better. The underlying metrics are better from last year. Now,
but a lot of games they're chasing. So, they're not coming like we say the offense is better, but they've been chasing a lot of games, and there haven't been games where the offense has come out, humming right away, except for Charlotte, where they gave, I guess, Charlotte maybe, where they gave up 2 goals really quickly in the second half. But they haven't put teams away, really.
They haven't ever done that.
Yeah, but you would want to have a couple of examples where you've like really been front foot to start. And that's not really what we've seen. So I think even with the offense improving and on the score sheet, it certainly has. It's not like they're going out and heading out to like 3-0 leads, 2-0 leads. They're coming from behind a lot, and frankly, they're falling behind, by multiple goals more often than they're getting ahead by multiple goals. And so I think you would want to see an improved offense being one that works when the scoreline is 0-0.
Yeah, I'm just, in terms of like improvement, they're scoring more goals, regardless of like game state or situation. They're generating more XG, regardless of game state or situation. So, I mean, it isn't a dire thing. Like no part of this team has improved. There's parts of this team that have definitely improved. But I think that in terms of, is anyone on the hot seat? To me, the as we head into this World Cup break, if there has been a debate thus far about where the balance of blame falls right now, I think earlier in the year, if you would have polled the fan base, and I think if you would have polled us, frankly, a lot of us would have said this is a Noonan issue. Mm-hmm. I'm more towards this is an Albright issue, that there's a roster build issue with this team, specifically around the center backs and the midfield, and the defensive midfield specifically. Jury is out on the wing backs, because it's not lost that the best they've looked is when they put a midfielder in at wing back, and the 2 starting wing backs that they had penciled in for this year, one of whom has been completely dropped from the lineup. The other one, he's played well in spurts, but I don't think anyone would say right now that Brian Ramirez has been a home run hire. So you look at that and it's like, okay, I don't really think that this is on Noonan. I think in a large way that Noonan is actually, I've come around to the idea Noonan's actually done a pretty damn good job putting together a lot of pieces that don't fit together into something that is at the very least treading water right now. So given that, yeah, they're on a historic pace for conceding goals. I don't know what else you would expect given the production and talent level of the players that they have on this team playing defense that, we underappreciated significantly. And I think Albright underappreciated significantly the impact of going into the season with a lot of guys who are approaching the wrong side of 30 and who are older, who maybe just their skill set doesn't fit the direction this league is going in right now. And, with a lot of players that are, poor possessors in a league where everyone and their brother wants to high press. And it used to be only a couple of teams were doing that. Now everybody's doing it. Like you used to say, oh, Bradley Carnell teams, they high press. It's like, well, we just got Miami was high pressing the other night. So yeah. I don't think it's a Noonan issue. And if you're not going to fire Albright, then I damn sure don't think you should fire Noonan at this juncture, regardless of the results.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I agree with you that it seems to be more of a Albright issue because the issue does seem to be personnel. I'm not ready to say Noonan has done a good job. A lot of his lineup decisions have been forced, and then he has immediately gone back to the conventional choices when they've been opportunities. The refusal to try an extra man in an extra midfielder for any extended periods of time, despite what if you're giving up all these goals, what's the point of having all these defenders?
Right.
And and a lot of it's your inability to possess the ball and your inability to put up any resistance in the midfield, and having you would think having another person in the midfield would help with that. And they have bodies for the first time to try for in the midfield. Now, all that being said, I don't want to go down any rabbit holes on
us, never
on any of this stuff. But so I am happy leaving it at the primary problem with the team is personnel, and mostly having a lot of the wrong people on the wrong contracts on the back line.
Yeah. So for that reason, this result, it's not interesting to me. I'll attend, I'll yell, I'll drink, but if this team is going to win a trophy this year, the real work starts as soon as the full time whistle blows. And
hopefully it's already started.
Yeah, sure. But
I like the idea that it doesn't start.
Right. If this team is going to accomplish anything, it's going to look radically different the next time we see them after Saturday. And if they don't, then I think that, Grayson, I'll be there. If we come out of this window right here and we come back and this team looks the same and there's still this misalignment of resources on this team in terms of contract values, positional values. If we're still in this position, then I'm gonna have some takes about the people that are running this team, especially given that we're going to be set up after the season, after this window is over. That this window is basically the window you are building for the rest of this year and the sprint season immediately afterwards. So this window is a 2-trophy window in my mind, because that sprint season, you're going to have the winter window right there, but that's always the harder window to do business in. And I'm betting that as a result of the sprint season, that they're going to shorten that period, so that because otherwise you'd be able to add talent all the way up through the MLS Cup. So,
yeah, I mean,
this is a big window.
If to the extent that I mean, our GM has been one of the people talking about how being able to compete in the summer window will, as like your primary transfer window, is going to be a big benefit in signing players. And given where the team is, even if you have to like buy some people out or let some people move on basically free contracts, there's no reason not to treat this like a primary transfer window.
Yeah. And Albright has said that they have the financial space to make room or to make moves.
Wonderful.
So,
Let's see.
You can't even tell me the $0 GAM disclosure or whatever. Like they've said publicly that they've got space to maneuver. Now, I will say, if the Neymar rumors are real, and congrats to Neymar for making the World Cup roster for Brazil, all the reporting is that Neymar would come in the winter. So if you do see like a weird gaping hole in the roster, that may be something to keep an eye on. Also, eventually, maybe we'll hear about some roster rule changes this summer. And I don't know exactly when they would go into effect, but everybody seems to think that some big things are coming. So we'll see how that factors into this. These teams, Orlando and FC Cincinnati, they have played 13 times in their MLS history. 3 times the home team has won in this. Could you guess when the last time the home team won? A year and home team.
Orlando in 22?
Oh, so close.
No, we beat them down there in 22.
We beat them in 22. We beat them in 22 at home. Hey, June 24th, we got them 1-0. And that was the last time that the home team won. The last time before that, you got to go back to 2021, where they beat us 3-0. And then May 19th, 2019, we were little babies in MLS. They beat us 5-1. So that was nice.
Nice of them. Cool.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Darren Maddox gets the 1 goal in that. I was right. 24th minute. Wow, this is fun. Nani scored 2 in that game. Dom Dwyer scored 1. And Tesho Akindele, he scored 2. Big urbanist guy on the internet, that Tesho. What do we think? I'll ask us 2 questions here. Predictions will come second, but first, what do we think the Noonan lineup is? Not what we want. What do we think the lineup will be on Saturday? Do we think it is Matt, Miles, and Hagland?
No.
It'll be, I think, is Chirilla, have we gotten an update on whether or not he's cleared?
I think he's still been out, right?
I'll let us do an alternate because I think we all want to plug him in, and I think Noonan wants to plug him in, but I don't know his health status.
I think it'll be, unfortunately, Matt, Miles, Kyle Smith.
And if Chirilla's willing or able to go, not willing to go, that's mean. If he's able to go, him instead of Smith.
Yeah. With Matt on the Miles on the right, Matt in the center, and Chirilla on the left.
That feels right.
And then I'm gonna guess that KMD starts at striker and Buka on the wing, and then probably Guidi, Evander, and I'm going to say Dado. I'm going to say Dado goes back to that extra midfield role.
And then Brian Ramirez on the left?
Sure.
That feels right. Any edits there, Grayson?
Did you just do the back line?
Do the entire thing.
Okay.
Chief ran through the entire thing. So his was the back line we talked about, which
let's repeat it.
Okay.
So I wasn't listening because I was trying to figure out what Miles Robinson's status was.
Ooh, okay. Good
Seems
call.
like the latest that we have is he did not participate in training yesterday.
He's out with concern for the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's an affliction.
So I am thinking, I'm kind of assuming that Miles is not going to be fit to start.
Okay.
So I'm expecting, I'll go Brian Ramirez, Kyle Smith, Matt Miazga, Nick Hagland, Pavel.
Okay.
With Anunga and Gidi and Evander.
Okay.
And Denke and man,
you got like 3 options now.
Yeah, I think probably Kenji.
Yeah.
But I could see in that lineup just going Kenji out at left wing back and Barlow up top.
Okay.
I'm not super confident about the back line, but I think if Miles isn't fit to start,
okay,
then I think that probably, and I'm also assuming Sharilla's not fit either. That kind of precludes you from putting Gidi in the back 3. Because I also feel like Obi's clearly not fit to start a game.
Yeah. And so with that, you're not starting Dado anywhere.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, I would start Gidi in that lineup. I would just roll Gidi and Dado next to each other.
Yeah. It's worked. I don't know why. Like, again, San Diego, I can understand some rotation given the week that it was and all that. But I think everybody's fresh, everyone's healthy. I don't see why you wouldn't go back to that. I mean, unless you were putting Gidi on the back line for whatever reason. But as you mentioned, Miles is going to make you not do that, or his health issues. So then finally, predictions. What are we thinking? I'll go first, and I will say this is 2-2, but a good 2-2.
I'm going to say this is 3-3.
Oh.
And it's a bad 3-3.
Oh, no.
And as while we were talking about this, I put money on the over at 3.5 goals in both teams to score, which brings it back to an even money bet, which feels like free money.
It certainly does. I don't know what they know more than us, but
they don't. They don't watch MLS. That's very obvious.
So 2-2, 3-3. Grayson, what do you got?
I'm going 3-1 to the good guys.
Whoa. Okay. About damn time. Yep. A win would tie the series up. We have 4 wins. They have 5 wins and 4 draws. So a win would be nice here. Level things out. So there you go. Those are the predictions, our predictions. I don't know how to phrase it. That's what's going to happen on Saturday. Okay. You don't even need to watch anymore. You already know what's going to happen. And I think that does it. Is there any other late breaking FC Cincinnati news that we need to cover or anything?
No. Enjoy it.
Tom Barlow made team of the week. Congrats.
Congratulations. Enjoy this because it's going away for a long time. The big FIFA is taking FC Cincinnati away from you. Never forget that. Of all the things they've done to you, taking FC Cincinnati away from you might be the worst.
And on that note,
either one of you two want to coach the Columbus Crew? No? Good. Fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They are a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.